All right, y'all. Now, I try not to get too excited when it comes to various Trump news where the overarching theme seems to be, we got him. We got him. He's going down. Wait for it. It's happening. It's happening. It's all coming to fruition right in front of us. We all remember that famous tweet that was like, gee, I wonder how old Donnie's going to wriggle his way out of this one. Donnie wriggles his way out of it easily. Ah, well, nevertheless. That apparently is real life. We've seen this time and time and time again. So I try not to get my hopes up too much. But look, at the same time, we have to call a spade a spade. And the fact of the matter is there's about 413 different investigations into Donald Trump, and some of them are actually moving forward. So we have the special prosecutor looking into Donald Trump vis-a-vis the top secret and classified documents case. Now, there was a time where everybody thought, understandably so, that, well, this is going to amount to nothing. Why? Well, Joe Biden also had classified documents. He had classified documents, so it's sort of a wash. And then we realized, well, Mike Pence also has classified documents. If he has classified documents, it's a wash. And then there's also the reasonable assumption, in my opinion, who the hell else has classified documents that's like a well-known, famous politician with access to this stuff, and they're illegally holding on to these things? I mean, look, it could be a long list. But I will say this. When it comes to Mike Pence, he had way fewer documents, and he cooperated with the authorities 100%. When it came to Joe Biden, despite what Donald Trump is saying repeatedly out there on the campaign trail, he also completely cooperated with the authorities. When it comes to Donald Trump, we know for sure, as a matter of fact, he did not cooperate. In fact, he said, I turned over all the documents, and he didn't do that. He was playing hide the ball. And then the question arises, well, why? Why are you playing hide the ball? These other politicians, if they were called, they're like, okay, here, hey, honest mistake, there you go. With Trump, seems to be a lot more sketchy now, doesn't it? Well, fast forward to today, this last week this came out, and we learned that there's apparently a secret audio recording of Donald Trump talking about a classified document that he knows he's not supposed to have. And then they went searching for that document, and they couldn't find it. It's not in all the documents they already seized, and it's not in any of the places where they looked after the fact. So where is it? Where is that document? Just how sensitive is that document? Who would want to get their hands on that document? These are all interesting questions. So let's listen to, this is CNN talking about this news when it first came out, and I'll give you some more information.
Breaking news, a new piece of evidence that undercuts Donald Trump's defense in the classified documents investigation. Sources telling CNN federal prosecutors have obtained an audio recording of a summer 2021 meeting where the former president acknowledges he held on to a classified Pentagon document about a potential attack against Iran. The recording indicates that not only did Donald Trump know he had classified materials in his possession after he had left the White House, but that Trump also seemed to know there were limits on what and how he could declassify records since he was no longer president. Let's bring in CNN's Caitlin Polans and Paula Reed, who are bringing us the CNN exclusive reporting. Paula, set the scene for us. Where was this meeting? What was it about?
This meeting was back in the summer of 2021 at Trump's Bedminster Golf Club. And among the people in attendance were several Trump aides and two people working on an autobiography of Mark Meadows. Now, Mark Meadows was not in attendance at this meeting, but during this time, Trump was in the habit of having his aides record any conversations with journalists, writers, or people working on books. Now, sources tell us that on this tape, Trump says that he has a classified Pentagon document describing a possible attack on Iran. We're also told that you can hear a paper rustling. It appears that he might be waving something around, though it's unclear if he's waving this document that he's referring to or if he's waving something else. Now, perhaps more importantly for investigators, on this recording, you can hear Trump suggest that he would like to share this information with the people he's speaking with, but he acknowledges that there are limits to his power to declassify post-presidency. And as one source told me, that is a real problem.
That's a real problem because it undercuts his entire argument.
So that is something he said repeatedly. I have the absolute right, Presidential Records Act, I could declassify whenever I want, however I want, doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want with these documents. According to himself, he knows that's not true. He knows there's a process you have to go through in order to declassify something. So that undermines his argument. Now, at the same time, you might say, well, hold on, he's telling the people around him, I can't show you this because it's top secret. But we don't know where the hell the document is now. Where is that document? It seems kind of important. In fact, it seems really important. A potential attack on Iran? On Iran. Well, let me ask you guys a question. Who's Iran's top enemy, or one of their top enemies? You could argue Israel, of course. Or you could argue Saudi Arabia. Well, the Trump family has deep financial connections to both of them. Trump stole a classified document on the U.S. striking Iran. It used to be at Bedminster, but is now missing. Trump was paid a stupid amount of money to host Live Golf at Bedminster. The Saudis and Iran were enemies. Saudis gave Kushner $2 billion and Ivanka $100 million. Connect the dots. Let me be clear. We absolutely need more evidence to know for sure what happened with these documents. We do. But you would have to be deaf, blind, and dumb to not think this is a leading potentiality. We don't even know how much money Donald Trump got for hosting various Live Golf tournaments at his different golf courses. The Saudis shit out $2 billion and handed it right over to Jared Kushner. For what? For what? Do they like the way he looks? Do they like his stance on abortion? No, it's a business venture, but really this is a bribe. This is pay to play. This is, hey, thank you for helping us when you were in there. We got away with killing Jamal Khashoggi because of you. That's one thing. Hey, thanks, Trump, for vetoing the resolution that came out of the Senate, which ended support for our genocide in Yemen. Thank you for supporting our genocide in Yemen. And it's also, hey, if you happen to get back in the White House, well, we're friends. We're buddies. What else can you do for me? Can you give me another multi-billion-dollar weapons deal? Can you do that? Or is our relationship going to go even further? So again, we don't even know how much money Trump himself got. It could have been tens of millions of dollars. It could have been $100 million. It could be $1 billion that Daddy Trump got to host these Live Golf events at his courses. But we know for sure Kushner got $2 billion. And I even know that Ivanka got $100 million. Did you guys know that? I had no idea. I missed that story. But that just shows you how much they're swimming in this corrupt blood money. And they have the nerve to talk about Hunter Biden. Now, by the way, do I think Hunter Biden's corrupt? I do. I do. Do I think it's questionable he's sitting on a Ukrainian energy firm board and getting paid for doing Dickie McGee's? Of course I do. I'm critical of that in the same way I'm critical of the Clinton Foundation when they were taking money from all these dictators while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Sketchy as hell. Corrupt as hell. Bad. Wrong. But these guys might take the cake for their corruption. Because again, what we're talking about here is it may be the case that the reason they can't find this document is because the Saudis or Israel, and by the way, Jared Kushner also has millions of dollars of dealings with Israeli banks, either Israel or Saudi Arabia wanted to see those classified documents and they paid for it. Or, I don't know, you tell me. Because I certainly can't think of anything else. What, he lost it? He lost it? I mean, I guess a more innocent explanation is he left it on his desk, went to play golf, then came back and it was gone, right? Well, who would have taken in that scenario? Is it a waiter at his golf course? Or is it a spy for a different country? I don't know. Either way, there's no innocent explanations for this. There's no good explanations for this. Now, whether or not that leads to some sort of justice is a separate question. Because we've already seen justice sometimes is a rare thing in our criminal justice system, especially when you're going after the rich and the powerful and the oligarchs and the economic royalists. Very, very rarely do they get their comeuppance. But certainly, this doesn't pass the smell test. At face value, this is as sketchy gets, man. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. So I just hope that this guy, Jack Smith, can connect the dots, make a solid argument, give enough evidence. But certainly, in my opinion, at face value, this is as sketchy as it gets, man. I think it's very likely that the Trumps were not just selling classified documents. They were probably selling a bunch of them to a bunch of people who paid them off. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.